Brian Donovan is the pastor at Bible Baptist Church now in where Peter Ruckman was for many years. I've met Brian Donovan a couple times. I spoke there at the school. Oh, gee, it's been a long time ago. But they have a newsletter, Bible Believers Bulletin, that I got, and probably been on my desk. Let's see, what's the date? Oh, March, this month. Okay. I'm slowly catching up on my mail. But this is classic. First couple of paragraphs, I thought, this is brilliant. I got to share this. His article starts off, Science, falsely so called, 1 Timothy 6:20, comes to conclusions that are predetermined by an agreement among the experts, and in order to join this elite group, the student must agree with the established dogmas of evolution, paleontology, taxonomy, astronomy, and the remainder of the disciplines. Now, if you listen to the guys that I debate, this is exactly what they will say. You didn't get a degree from one of our institutions, and you don't agree with the majority of scientists, therefore you must be wrong. This has been going on for centuries. This is exactly what's happening here. Only by agreeing with the majority is the, quote, scientist allowed to enter the sanctum and be accepted enough to even have an opinion. So if you don't agree with the majority opinion, you can't even have an opinion. Didn't you see that in the last discussion I did? Gee whiz, okay. How about... The modern scientific taxonomy charts have their beginnings with Aristotle in 375 BC, who appears to be the first to classify animals. His work did not make any genetic connection between species, as he believed that species were fixed and unchanging, which of course is demonstrable by unchanging. He meant inability of one species to become another. Now, I'm real reluctant to use the word species because it's too slippery. The Bible says they bring forth after their kind, which also in some cases is a little difficult to define, which we covered the other night in our Bible study here. But I just stick with the word kind. And if you listen to the discussion I did last week with, he kept changing it to other words, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Clad, species, no, just stick with, it's the same kind of animal. Squirrels produce squirrels, chickens produce chickens, no exceptions. Yeah, but they both breathe air. That proves they're related. Okay. You know, you can't fix stupid, can you? You just can't fix it. Okay. Unless the student falls for the lies of evolutionary theory, the standard taxonomy charts of false science today come from the work of the 1700s of Carolus Linnaeus, who also believed in the fixity of species. However, Linnaeus was the first to classify humans as part of the animal kingdom. And this classification continues to this day. And they said that over and over in the debates. Man is an animal. I talked to a lady today in Australia who's not a Christian, had been wondering, trying to search things out. I had several calls today where people are not saved, and I try to win them to the Lord over the phone. And I said, well, there appears to be three kinds of life on planet Earth. There's plant life, which has a body. They're alive, but I don't think they're aware that they're alive. Then there's animal life, which is distinctly different from plant life somehow. They have something plants don't have, okay? They have life, but they have a consciousness of life. They know they're alive. And then there's man. He has a body and a consciousness of life and a consciousness of God. You never see a pig pray before it eats. I use that sometimes in the cafeteria. I'll sit down to eat and pray, and somebody else will just sit down and start eating. I say, hey, did you know pigs don't pray before they eat? They look at me like, oh, kind of funny, you know. And they don't, by the way. So there seems to be something different about people. We have a consciousness that there's something beyond this life. And the poor atheists and evolutionists who try to pretend like this is it, you die, you go to the grave, and it's over. Well, you can believe that if you want, but it's not over. There's something different about mankind. But Carolus Linnaeus was the first one to put us, as far as we know, into the animal kingdom. So I think there ought to be a totally separate kingdom for man. Anyway, that's my Hovind theory.